Eamon Javers joins us now from Washington with some breaking news. What are we learning here, Eamon?
Well, Scott, President Trump just wrapped up a meeting with his ambassadors in the cabinet room at the White House. But in that meeting, he took some questions about this scandal that's erupted over the past 24 hours about his national security team accidentally including a reporter on a text chain in which they discussed attacks in Yemen. The president didn't seem very concerned about that. He said normally you'd want to have a conversation like that in the Situation Room or secure facility, but life doesn't always work that way. This is one of the things that can happen with technology. He said his administration is going to look into how this situation happened. But his national security advisor, Mike Waltz, who was in the room for this meeting, Trump was signaling support for Waltz, saying that he doesn't need to apologize. He's a good man. He's doing a good job. He's probably not going to use the Signal messaging service in the future. And he said that they're going to try to get to the bottom of how this happened. But the president very much sending a signal of unity among his national security aides and saying this is a story that's being drummed up by the media to undermine his administration, which he said has had a very successful first 2 months. Scott, back over to you.
Sure. I mean, I guess it all depends on, Eamon, what you think the definition of classified is at this point.
Yeah, you know, some administration and intelligence officials were testifying on the Hill today saying there was no classified information in this text chain at all, and then sort of narrowing that later in the testimony, saying, well, actually, there was no intelligence classified information, sort of leaving open the question about whether there was military classified information. The Atlantic article suggested that there were names of particular people who were being targeted, targets themselves, weapon systems, and times for strikes, all included in this text chain. All of that would seem to be highly sensitive. The question is whether the DOD and the chairman of Defense is able to declassify that information as he sends it. Is he, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of Defense, is he able to declassify it as the unilateral declassifying authority for that just by sending a text? So the real questions here about what specifically was transmitted and what specifically was classified. The administration, by saying there was nothing classified here, is sort of opening themselves up now for the Atlantic to then release the information and say, well, if it's not classified, we're going to put this out publicly, because that publication clearly does have, the text chain.
Yeah. Eamon, thanks for the latest there.